show, we're taking a trip to my friend Vanita's home, and she'll show us how she turned a cluttered storage closet into her dream Butler's pantry. Then I'll show you a recipe for one of my favorites but really simple and fabulous Easter meals, herb crusted rosemary garlic lemon rack of lamb. And finally, I will also be sharing the results of your decision on where to hang my hanging spring bouquet door wreath. Coming up next. Hello guys, it's Toni and I am at one of my best friend's house, and I'm here because her and her daughter did an awesome project, and they did it themselves. So I really wanted to show you what a great job they did, and it's something that I think you can do yourselves. Why don't you tell my viewers, what the project was and why you decided to do it.
Okay. Well, first I want to give most of the credit to my daughter. I did have sort of a vision of, I've always wanted a butler's pantry, and I expressed that to her. And we had, in this space was a really deep storage area. It had wire shelves and everything, and it was just usually a mess. But it also had closed doors, so we could always hide it away. But my daughter, Vanessa, she sketched out some things, and we sent that to you for some additional design advice.
And so my advice was to see what it actually might look like. So I did a 3D rendering of the pantry based on the drawings that Vanessa did, so that they can get a better idea of what they wanted. They could play around with the colors of the walls and the floor and the countertop and see what their other options would actually look like. And since my friend Vanita definitely wanted a place to have and store her wine, we played around with what it would look like to have a wine rack and a place for hanging glasses, in addition to a coffee station. And they just played with the design until they got the look that they wanted. And after they got the look that they wanted, they went to work right away, clearing out the pantry, removing all the wire shelves, cleaning out the space, getting it ready for new stuff, and patching up the holes.
So one of the first things we did was we pulled up a laminate or vinyl floor that was discolored and just not attractive, and we replaced that with this tile, and that turned out great. While we had all the cabinets, while we had all the shelving pulled out, we painted sort of a light gray color. My daughter, she measured the space, and she went online and found a group of cabinets that you can buy separately, separate pieces at Lowe's, and we purchased those in four different pieces, the large ends and 2 middle pieces. We picked those up, brought them to the house, and fit them into the space. And what was left, we didn't have a countertop, so we looked around for different options for the countertop. So we found a granite supply place near our house, less than 3 miles from our house, and purchased a small piece that they cut specifically for us. The gentleman came to our house. We already had the cabinets in, and he was able to cut. There was a little lip on each side of the cabinet space, and he was able to cut that so that it fit in here perfectly. And once the countertop was in, we wanted to have some shelving where I could display our beverages and glasses, but I also wanted to have something above there where I could change the decor for the seasons, whether it's Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter. And so we went online to find that. I wanted something where I could hang glasses and also have that display, seasonal display above there. So we ordered these floating shelves online, and they turned out perfect.
How do you wire your internet? Where's the wire located, and how do you run it through?
So that's a great question. Our router was in the storage closet, so it was sitting on one of the shelves below, and there was only one outlet in here to plug it up to, so I had to get a long extension that went from that outlet up and over the opening. The actual cable that comes into the home is on this side of the pantry, but the power is on that side. So I just had to put the extension cord around the door, the opening, and then there's a plug down here at the bottom, and the router and my internet connection, everything is at the top of this shelf.
So Vanita and her family are now able to store all their items in a very organized way so that they can find everything, and it's tucked away behind the cabinet so it will always look neat in here. They even have a unique way of storing an item they use all the time.
Between my daughter and I, we have 2 dogs, and one of the things that she thought would be great is a cabinet for the dog food, and not just a cabinet, but containers that we could keep the dog food in, keep it fresh. It has a closed top, and hideaway when we're not feeding them, so you don't know that it's there. So that's actually one of my favorite features of the pantry.
Well, Vanita, this turned out awesome. I'm so excited for you. You guys did a great job. I just love it. Is it the vision that you saw for yourself?
Yes, it's perfect. It's actually beyond my expectations. It turned out great, especially the countertop. I was a little reluctant because it's different from the colors we have in the kitchen and other areas, but my daughter picked it out and it turned out perfect. And we love the space. We use it. It's awesome.
Great. I know you wanted to have your wine rack and coffee, so definitely have that. I can't wait to have some wine with you maybe today. Thank you for letting me come and film everything, and it's great. So
thanks for coming.
I'll see you.
All right.
So, actually, let's get to lunch.
Let's go to lunch.
Coming up next, I'm sharing one of my favorite recipes for Easter: oven roasted herb crusted rack of lamb. Since Easter's coming up, I want to show you how I make my favorite dish on Easter, lamb chops. I have a couple of racks of lamb here, and I am going to show you a recipe that is really simple, but the lambs come out really juicy and delicious. This recipe is also actually a recipe from friends of mine who make their own rub, which I'm going to be using, but I'll tell you what spices are in here. We go to their house every Easter and they have the most delicious meals. So hopefully I'll be able to give you something that you could use for your holiday, and it'll come out great and everyone will be talking about it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to start to preheat our oven to 325. Next, I'm going to mix our herb seasoning, and I am using a seasoning that my friend makes. They're from New Orleans and they make these awesome seasonings for your meat and your food. I am mixing beef love rub and rosemary, garlic, lemon zest. So if you don't have this, above you'll find the ingredients for the mixture. You'll need salt, pepper, lemon zest, garlic powder, rosemary, ginger powder, and onion powder. You can also find this full recipe on my website, Your House at Home TV. I am also going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. This is actually thyme flavored olive oil made by the same company. I like the taste of it. So anyway, I'm going to mix this up into my mixture to make a little bit of a paste. So you can just add olive oil till you get about this consistency. And now we're ready to coat our lamb. Next, we're going to prepare our lamb for roasting. I have 2 racks of lamb cleaned, and what I'm going to do, most people like to take the fat off, but what I'm doing is just cutting X's in the fatty areas. And the X's are so that the seasonings will seep through and the fat will render while it's roasting. After I do that, I'm going to pour a little olive oil on my lamb and rub the lamb with olive oil. And then I'm going to coat my lamb with the rub mixture. A good amount all over on both sides. And what I like to do is sprinkle it with some more beef rub. You could use garlic if you want. I just like to make sure the whole lamb is covered. Next, I'm going to use an oven-safe pan with a rack in it. And what I want to do is place each lamb so that the bones are facing up. The meaty part is on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is interlace the bones at the top. And I'm going to tilt the racks out a little bit so that it's like a teepee. In the pan this way, the fat will render out into the meat and then drip down into the bottom of the pan. It'll baste itself and roast in all that good flavor. Now all that's left is to put this in the oven. So I am using a meat thermometer so that I know when my lamb is cooked. And you're going to stick the thermometer in the meaty part of the lamb. So for rare, you're going to have an internal temperature of 120. For medium rare, 130. For medium, 140. For medium well, 150. And for well done, about 160. Okay, so my lamb has cooked for about 30 minutes. I just took it out of the oven. It is done. I let it sit for about 10 minutes and I am going to slice it up now. So I let this lamb cook to an internal temperature of 140, which is medium. And this is what it looks like. The ends will be darker than the middle part. So make sure you put your thermometer closer to the center. As you can see, here's more on the medium rare side in the center, which is the way my husband likes it. I like more of a medium, and my children don't like to see red at all. So what I usually do is I carve this up in a pan like this that I could put in the oven. Then I'll take a few of the rare and medium pieces out for my husband and I. Then I'll place the rest of them in the oven under the broiler for less than a minute. Just enough to sear the top a little and get rid of that pink, and everyone's happy. And now it's time for dinner. And here's a taste test. So delicious, and my boys ate everything. So try this easy recipe and check out my friends at Funky Good Time for some awesome herb seasonings. Okay, for the moment you all been waiting for. Last week I made a couple of beautiful hanging bouquet baskets for my door, and I needed your help to decide if I should hang them from my doors or if I should hang them from my light sconces. Well, so many of you wrote your opinions and your votes in the comments, and overwhelmingly you guys decided that you like them better on the double doors. So that's where they'll stay. I did also get some great advice on when I do hang things on the sconces You guys are right, it does look a little busy with the planters right underneath the baskets. So the next time I do hang something from the sconces, I will move the planters to the edges so they don't interfere. But I think you guys made a great decision. I love the bouquets on the door. As for the Easter eggs, I decided I'm just going to put those in on the day of Easter and take them out right after. So in case you don't see me before the holidays, I hope you all have a great Easter. Want more detailed instructions on some of these projects? On my Etsy store, for just a few dollars, you can get instant digital downloads of full-color step-by-step instructions with templates for some of your favorite projects. And check out my Amazon page, where you can pick up my multi-surface acrylic metallic paint. Get 20% off now through the end of August 2022. Mix millions of colors and create endless home beauty for indoor and outdoor projects. And while you're there, pick up my Book of Elegant Home Crafts Volume 1 with all your favorite projects together in one big, beautiful, colored, step-by-step instruction book. You can now get separate e-project booklets, and also full-color printed project booklets will be available on Amazon. On my Amazon page, you'll see all my favorite crafting tools and supplies used on this show, and you can add them all to your cart for the one-click, fast and easy shopping and delivery convenience of Amazon. I'll be working every day to make crafting fun and easy for you. Follow me at Your House of Home and Your House of Home TV on all social media for extra home, food, and gardening tips.